Okay, I think we're on. Yeah, we're on. What is that? Okay. So I recently diagnosed myself with being autistic, and I want to talk about it. I wanna talk about the process of me getting to the point where I am now, and then I wanna talk about specific things that I think are symptoms of being autistic in me, and just some other things that I experience that I'm not so sure are symptoms of being autistic, but they're definitely symptoms of me being me. There is a bit of a delay. Let me get it there. I had heard of autism before I diagnosed myself with it, and sometimes I would do some reading about it, and Jesus, there are too many thoughts. I have done this before, this whole video, but I was doing it with my phone, and the camera was constantly adjusting the lighting, so it turned out to be like a seizure-inducing video. So I decided, and like also for some reason it cut it, so not all of my rambling was recorded. So I decided to do a new one, but this one seems to go a little bit bumpier and slower. Anyway, so I had heard of autism, obviously, before I bothered enough to diagnose myself with it, and I did some reading about it. Like from time to time I would start like reading some articles, trying to understand what it is, just as a general curiosity, and also like if it applied to me. But I couldn't really get anywhere with it. It was a bit too vague, and at the same time there was like too much information and not enough information. So it was just something that I was aware of, but like didn't really care about, apart from one thing. So I would go to Wikipedia, and they have this image there of a child, of a boy, who is sleeping, and his toys are all aligned next to him. According to size it says, but I see some other system there, because he also has got boots there, and not all of them are according to size, but there is a system. I can see that there is a system there, and boots, perfect. So when I look at this picture now, and when I used to look at it before, there was another one with the boy like stacking cans of some canned goods on top of each other. So when I saw that, when I see that, it feels like someone has opened my cranium and I'm staring right at my brain, like the meat of it. And like I don't know what else is happening in the brain, like if you open the shit. Feels like it shouldn't be pulsing from what I know, but like should look like a chunk of meat. But yeah, like the image makes me feel like I'm looking inside of myself, inside of my meat, and I see like things happening there. So that was one thing that I really related to always, and I mean I still do, but that didn't go anywhere. What did was that about 2 years ago I randomly clicked on some videos on YouTube or something about autism, which I did because I often want to see how different people live their different lives, like the struggles that people have. So autism was one of those things. Like I knew that there are people with autism and then they're like different, and it's like a disorder or something. Like if it's a disorder, I'm not sure, but whatever, it's something that could cause some problems, so I could like empathize with people and like understand what it's like to be them. So I clicked on some videos and they had the same effect on me. I'm not sure, should I touch on it right now or a bit later? Okay, let's do it now. But first let me drink actually. So with the videos, it was the same issue that I had with like articles or whatever. The people would give information, like a lot of it, but at the same time not enough. I couldn't figure out if this applied to me. Like something would like feel like, yeah, that sounds really familiar, but then they would talk about 10 other things and I wouldn't get this pop, like this feeling that, yeah, okay, I know what you mean by that. I was like, does it apply or does it not? Does it not? So I would start considering it from like all possible angles, and then I would just understand that I cannot understand it at this point. I haven't had enough input. I haven't had enough time to process it. I haven't had anything, so I cannot form any conclusion here. So I would stop. Another thing with special videos was that I could clearly see that people whom I watched, maybe there were some other creators there, but there seemed to be like a community of sorts, or some kind of shared discourse thing. So a lot of videos, there would be like a lot of videos. Every content creator I have ever watched, they produce like massive amounts of videos. So there would be like a lot of information, but at the same time like very little. So I would see like these videos of like 10 signs that I am autistic, or like 10 things I thought was nothing but turns out it's autism. And then they would like go through them, and that would be like, I think, the thing about the, I have water on my lips, the thing about the community, so it's like what people do there, and I'm not a part of it at all. I have never been, and to me it just wasn't clear enough. Like, okay, you're listing some things that you experience, but you're not explaining it, and without this I cannot understand anything. Like, okay, maybe this thing or that thing seems similar to what I have experienced, but like, I want to be more sure. So that didn't really help. And also there was like a lot of terminology, a lot of like language, a lot of jokes, a lot of like some kind of inner things there that I could feel that I'm not like privy to, I'm not a part of it, which was a bit of a barrier, I would say. So every time I would watch something like that, I would end up like thinking like, so something was like, you know, something was, sorry, I'm getting a thing. So it wasn't like no, I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't like that. There was something like, I might need to explore it more, but I couldn't get past it because there were too many points to consider, and I couldn't. Like, I started, but I couldn't get anywhere. there was not enough information that helps me understand. Nevertheless, so around 2 years ago I clicked on the videos, and there was one video, and I'm gonna lie now. Let's do this. I don't want to lie, but I will have to, because I don't have a time traveling device to actually like rewatch the video. There is no hope of me finding it again. As I recall it, there was a guy who was doing kind of a similar thing. It was like a short video, like a sort of joke. So how I thought why I can't be autistic. So I can't be autistic because A, B, C, F, G, X, Y, and then 11, and then let me look there. Damn, I'm autistic. So he explained his thought process. He like pictured, like, not, I mean, yeah, we can say pictured. So he like portrayed his thought process of like moving in a really complex way to let's say to prove that he's not autistic, and in the process he was like, oh damn, I am autistic. So that was very relatable to me, because this just the way he described his thought process was very similar to what I have going on in my head, and I was like, yeah, funny. So that was the first thing which made me like start clicking on the videos more often, with the same kind of like intermittent, like not there, not here results. So like, but, and so on. And my theory now, I guess, is that, well, I needed 2 years. I needed 2 effing years. So now, finally, about 2 weeks ago, it kind of clicked for me again, because I had clicked on a video. All of that got finally incorporated in this thinking bucket that I have there, and I was like, oh, I am autistic. This video, because I want to give credit where it's due, again, wouldn't be able to find it, but wouldn't be able even to cite it, but there was another autistic person who was, the same sort of format, with like 10 sensory things that I thought something and it's something else. And the individual there was like listing them. Some of them were like the things that I have, some of them weren't, which normally would, you know, put me into this pondering thing, like, how many of them do I need? And like, can you please give me more information? Can you just not say that socks? Can you explain how it actually feels? Like, because then I think if someone had done that, or if I had seen that, I would have, it would have been more relatable to me, because I wanted not how it looks from the outside, but how it looks from, you know, on the inside. But as this person was listing the things, and some of them were similar to mine, just the number of them, like this consecutive little weirdnesses, then with all the background that I had after 2 years of clicking on videos, it was like, okay, I am an assortment of weird shit. I am autistic. And after that, I couldn't just, I formed a conclusion, and before that it wasn't enough, and then now it's enough. Like, absolutely enough. I cannot, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to say that, no, it doesn't apply. I mean, it applies. one thing I want to talk about now too is that the process of me arriving at this point was being additionally complicated by a presence of one person in my life, which, like, their presence is no more. the presence is deceased. So this person is no longer present in my life. Good. But while they were, I tried to talk to them about this thing that, like, I watched these videos and, like, I might be autistic. And with that person, I got essentially two responses. One was a non-response. They just didn't want to talk about it. It just wasn't like, oh, whatever. Didn't go anywhere, wasn't interesting. I couldn't get there. I couldn't, like, start analyzing, like, what do you think. They didn't try to also read up on something or, like, watch something to understand what I'm referring to. They listened to what I said, but then just, what did you expect? So that diagnosis wasn't something they were interested in exploring. They were much more interested in exploring the diagnosis that they would ascribe to me, which there were many, which we moved from one to another to the next and so forth and so on, or the diagnosis they would have for themselves. Again, quite a few of them, but not autism for some reason. That was like, as if that was off limits, I don't know. The other reaction was that, well, all of us are a bit neurodivergent, and I don't mean it in the sense that, oh, we're all on the spectrum, like, there's a spectrum, whatever the bullshit is. It was about me, them, and possibly one more person who was, like, in this group they considered to be a group. So all three of us are like, we are all here a bit, like, a bit something, which was another way of, like, shutting down that discussion and complicating things for me, because I would have that idea in my brain that, like, I somehow needed not only to diagnose myself, but also, like, think, like, does it apply to them? Like, if I say it about me, can I say it about them? Like, should I think, if I can say it about them? Like, if I can't say that about them, can I say it about me? Like, so always, like, comparing that, which we were constantly doing. Like, you do that, I do this, like, what is it all about? So that didn't fucking help at all. And so now, and for quite a few months already, this person isn't in my life, and it was much easier to... I mostly stopped doing that comparison, like, I'm doing me. this bucket, not some other buckets I actually cannot, like, have direct access to. So that was, now it was much easier to realize, like, yeah, like, it's a thing, it applies. So I guess that would be that. Like, thanks to a picture of a young autistic boy with his toys aligned, and 2 videos of people sharing their experiences with all the other things that I drew from and gone in here. Finally, all of it found it, like everything found its place, and I'm here. I have a pen and I have a notebook with lots of points that I made, which I haven't covered in this video because I talk too much. But yeah, I would love to get to all of them. Maybe some other things. Yeah, I guess that's it. The previous video was kind of, I also had an apple in that one. I wanna have an apple in this one too. So there is an apple here. Hello, apple. So let's finish on the apple. Like I really wanna fucking bite it. Like really wanna bite the apple.